at 4:30, Rochester Mayor Malik Evans weighs in with his concerns about Rochester City Court Judge Michael Lopez.
I've asked around. No one has ever heard of a case in which a judge stepped in unilaterally without any conversation and overturned the decision. So it's something that I'm very concerned about.
We were the first to report Monroe County Executive Bello filed a formal complaint against Judge Michael Lopez with the Commission on Judicial Conduct after calling him a danger to the community. And he's not the only one who feels that way. News 10 NBC investigative reporter Jennifer Lukey joins us live from Rochester City Court. Jen, what did the mayor have to say about all this?
Well, Nikki, first let me remind folks of our previous stories on all of this. In the last few weeks, Judge Michael Lopez, who works behind me in Rochester City Court, has released suspects accused in very violent crimes without bail just hours after other judges have either remanded those suspects or set bail on them. Yesterday, County Executive Bello told me that he believes Judge Lopez is overstepping his authority, and today Mayor Malik Evans told me he agrees.
The controversy centers around what's known as the centralized arraignment part court. Anyone arrested outside of business hours is brought here for arraignment. Judges from across Monroe County take turns hearing cases in Cap Court and making determinations on bail. It seems there was a standing order that any time bail was set on a suspect who would eventually be in front of Rochester City Court Judge Michael Lopez, the case was bumped to the next day, and often the bail requirement was eliminated, in some cases without attorneys even asking for it to be considered.
I think there's absolutely a concern. We put Cap Court together because we wanted to expedite the administration of justice. So I think there are concerns whenever you have a judge that would then overturn someone else's decision that was made the night before without prosecution's asking for it, the defense asking for it. That is of very much a concern of ours. And then the type of folks that are being overturned have been people who have been responsible for domestic violence and some of the most heinous crimes in our community. So I think that it is absolutely a concern. And I hope that no other judge does that.
As we've reported, a few weeks ago, Judge Lopez released a suspect in a violent domestic violence case just hours after another judge had set bail. And last week, a 9-time felon was remanded to jail for 5 new drug charges by a Cap Court judge. But Lopez assigned an attorney and released him with no bail the next morning.
Have you filed a formal complaint yourself?
I have not. The county executive put his forward. I'm sure that's enough for all of us that are in elected office, both in the cities and towns.
The mayor says at the very least, he's hoping the discussion on all of this brings some awareness on how these types of decisions are made and by whom.
We regularly get calls that says, what is the mayor going to do about this? Not understanding that I don't control the criminal justice system. So from my perspective, it's important for people to understand. And I think that this is a learning experience for people to know.
Now, the Commission on Judicial Conduct does not comment on pending investigations. Judge Lopez's office told me he will not be commenting and directed me to a spokesperson for the state court system. That spokesperson got back to me today to say he will not be commenting either. Of course, we will continue to follow this story, Nikki.
Thank you, Jen. Judge Michael Lopez is serving a 10-year term, which expires at the end of